Hello and welcome to Follow Everton on this warm, sunny Wednesday evening, midweek. You're joined, it's the Hinge and Bracket duo again. Your weekly update on the Blues. We've got lots to talk about. And my partner in crime, we were out for a pint yesterday, so I've not seen him in 24 hours. My friend Wes, how are you, friend?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I have to apologise because we did promote a stream with a Nottingham Forest fan coming on, a good old shipmate of mine. But something's come up and he's had to bail on us, so we're just going to have a little moan about Forest and amongst other things.
And Leicester. We thought we've nailed it tonight. We've got a Forest fan on talking about 4 points and for good behaviour and whatever. We're going to discuss it in depth in a minute. And I was looking forward to it. I thought he's going to have his Notts Forest kit on, and he's bailed. Yeah. So Lenny let down. Wes's mate. We say it in jest. We say it. We're in a bit of fun. Right? And we've got. MJ Timai from New Zealand. How you doing, friend? Lovely to see all you beautiful people out there from the UK. And, I mean, mate, New Zealand, wow.
Yeah. And we've got another one here from Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls?
Steve G. I'm not going to say Stevie G.
Oh, no, Steve G. All right, Steve, lad. All right, Steve.
And our good friends, Amy, as well.
Hi, Amy.
Back again.
Yeah. And Richo 65. Richo 65. Do you know what, friend? Yes, I've been looking forward to this all day. I went
shopping. A while.
Because I think we did one last Monday, so probably like 10 days ago. And we were going to do one on Monday, weren't we? With your Notts Forest friend. And then obviously we moved it to tonight, only because we had a few drinks last night just to talk about Everton. So every so often, Wes and I, we meet up. And we bumped into Domino Chris yesterday, and we had a little chat about the Blues and nothing else. So there you go. Look at that. As if by magic, I was on the right, and all of a sudden, I'm on the left.
Oof.
Mate, I was a bit of a left winger in my time, you know.
I can imagine, Robbie.
Mate, seriously, the Robster was fast. Basically, in the old days, right, going back years and years and years ago, you know when you used to stand up against a wall. Now, the young ones won't remember this, but you stood up against the wall and then you had the two captains picking the team. So then you go, I'll have Tommy, and then Tommy would go on one team A, and then someone would go, I'll have Wes over there, Wes would go on team B. And I was always left on the wall last. And they go, you can have Robbie, and then the other team would go, no, it's all right, you can have him, even though they had an extra man. But, mate, was I fast? OMG. The other team used to go, do you know what? I wish I would have had him because I'd bang goals in left, right, and centre because you just couldn't catch me. So there you go. That was my. In the old days, Wes, my claim to fame was 11.2 seconds on 100 meters.
Pretty quick, that, mate.
It was quick, mate. That was in the old days. I mean, that's going back to the late 70s. Yeah, 11.2. Oh my God! And give me that baton in a 4x100. Oh, wow. Anyway.
I'm probably 11 minutes to do that now.
Hey, Mac, hey, last pick, Robbie. I like that. So basically, what they were saying was, although they never said it to me face, they were saying, "You shite."
You shite.
But give the ball. Give me the ball.
Yeah, you put the fat kid in goal, Rob.
Yeah, I was dead slim, dead nimble, and there you go. Could have shown a few players in the Everton team a trick or two these days, because I think when was the last time we saw someone bomb it down a wing, mate? Must have been Kanchelskis.
Yeah. You know what? Like Dwight McNeil did it last season, but obviously, you know, with his issues, what's going on in his personal life and stuff like that, that's obviously affecting his game.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to separate the two.
Yeah,
we're going to have a little
chat. Wes, we're going to have a little chat about Rishi and mental health a little bit later on, so we'll sort of save that maybe till, you know, a little bit later on in our stream instead of maybe talking about that now. So originally, friend, we were going to be talking. Lovely to see everyone. We just see the numbers going up, And we always say, without you boys and girls out there, we haven't got a channel. Wes and I could talk all day long about Everton, as we did in the pub yesterday. Tonight, we're all talking together.
Yeah, I mean, we did literally go out and just talk about Everton all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we put the world to rights, don't we?
But that's I mean, that's an indictment of what's going on at Everton at the minute. There's always something to talk about, isn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't a 5-minute conversation. So let's kick it off, mate, because we kind of we spoke about it at great length yesterday. Not Forest.
Yeah.
How are you all feeling? How's our friends out there? Call us the aisle punters, the Indian bracket punters. We've got our views on it. What's your views on it? We're not going to have a phone in tonight, but we'll put your views up. What are you thinking about Notts Forest? Originally 4, 2 knocked off for good behaviour. So we're hearing. And apparently it wasn't written in stone, but that was on the proviso that they weren't going to appeal. Over to you, Wes.
Well, you know what? I just think it's cheeky. I think that they should have turned around and gone. I think they should have gone. We're happy with the 4. You know what I mean? And people, you know, Sky is coming out saying it's highly unlikely that they'll get an increase in the points because they've appealed. Why not? But
they've set the precedence, haven't they? We were the sacrificial lambs. So there you go. There's your benchmark, and we all know that the overspend by Forest was a lot more. So it was supposed to be 1 point for every 5 million. So technically speaking, Forest should have had. Did we work it out yesterday? 13 points. So there you go. There was the benchmark. So it wasn't just 2 points knocked off for good behaviour, then, was it? It was like Everton. Yeah, have a bit of that. A little bit like me on the wall back at school years ago, mate, when no one had picked me because they all thought it was crap. Premier League have done exactly the same to Everton, going, fucking have a bit of that. We don't like you.
It is. It's like, you know, when we got the 4 points back, and we ended up with 6. The Premier League came out and made a statement and said, you know, that's the benchmark for a breach of PSR. And then you think, well, is the independent panels reading that? Because they started off at 6, and because you're a good boy and you roll over and have your tummy rubbed, like, you got 2 points back. You're like, but like people are sort of like comparing the two teams, because Forest could only make or lose 61 million, and this overspend was nearly 95 million. Like, that's not our problem. Do you know what I mean? Because we could spend more, we lose more money, 105 million over 3 years. It's not our problem that they got promoted. They're the rules that they were only allowed to lose 61 million, but they lost nearly 100 million. Do you know what I mean? So they overspent by 34.5 million, but got a less punishment, and it just doesn't make sense, does it, mate? So here's a question from Stevie G. Who would Dice put on the wall, or leave on the wall? And all of them.
I've started it now, haven't I? I've started that. And listen, please don't feel sorry for me, because do you know what? Life was a bit tough then. We'll talk about mental health a little bit later. And it's kind of like, if you're left on the wall day after day after day, you actually do believe that you're crap. So it kind of, so what you do, friend, you sink or swim.
Yeah.
If someone says you're crap, and then you go, maybe I am, but I knew it wasn't. So I had a little gift there. I had something in my back pocket that nobody knew that I had, and it was called speed. And I mean going fast. I don't mean another kind of speed that seems to be doing the rounds these days.
Amy's got, probably like the same with a lot of fans, is that she doesn't think that the points deductions are the way forward, and there could be another way, and there probably is another way, but they've sort of by docking those points, don't forget 10 points initially, and we had to fight to get 4 of them points back. By doing that, they've you know made scapegoats out of us, haven't they? And sort of it showed that it spread fear across the league, because nobody spends any money in January hardly. So now teams like, you know, Newcastle and Villa and Everton and whoever else who've got, like, even Palace, any team below that top 6 has to sell the best players to keep within the profit and sustainability rules, haven't they? So
yeah, we spoke about it yesterday. You mentioned a number. Was it 300 million or 300 billion that Newcastle are worth?
300 billion.
And they've still got to sell to one of the supposed top 6 or abroad. So, you know, there could be that Isaac lad, couldn't he? That could go for
could be a
whatever.
Gomes could go. Trippier could go. And it's all a farce, isn't it? Because especially when they change the rules again next year. So do you reckon that's going to be 85% of your revenue you can spend on transfers and players' wages and this, that, and the other? Now, where is it fair that Newcastle have got £300 billion, their owners are worth £300 billion, right? And Man City have a revenue coming in of about £700 million a season, right? So they've got £700 million to go out and buy players, spend on wages and this, that, and the other. And you've got a team like us who generates something like £180 million. Where's the fairness in that? Do you know what I mean? Like the top teams are always going to be able to buy the top players. Like nobody's going to want to come to Everton, because it's kind of like an enforced wage cap, isn't it? Because you're not going to get, like, we'll have to go trolling through the lower leagues again, looking for gems, you know, uncut diamonds, and try and polish them. And I don't think, to be perfectly honest, I don't think we've got a manager that is able to do that anyway. You know, whereas Moyes could do that, or Martinez could do that, I don't think Sean Dyche as a manager is capable of doing that.
I mean, Wes, have we got the scouting network to do that as well? Because I know we did have, but a certain waiter came in and bombed off the medical team and the scouting network and whatever, and then we basically, I don't know if that was like a wage thing or just a personal thing or whatever, but we basically had with a Premier League team, but we had nothing.
Yeah.
So he's trying to build that back up again. So to come in for I say, from the manager's point of view, to come in, try and rescue the team, try and build up an academy, try and build up a scout network, try and get a medical team, try and do whatever. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that all that stuff costs money, though, Rob. You know what I mean? And we haven't got it to spend. So,
Hi, Bob.
you know, it's like this new breach was supposed to be here today.
It's finished. Yeah, finished.
Yeah, it's finished. And
3 days. 3 days.
Yeah, and they didn't have that. What's his name? Silky, whatever his name is. I can't even say his name. Rabinovich, Lawrence Rabinovich.
Why don't you think we had him? Why don't you? Could we not afford him? Did we not think we needed him? Or did he go, like, I'm not doing it, I'm busy, you know, I'm going, taking my grandkids to the zoo for the day? I mean, it's like, we needed him, and then all of a sudden you'd think we'd need him again.
I really don't know. Like, I don't, like, obviously, you know, they brought him in for the appeal, and he got 4 points back, and he got, you know, 2 of the cases sort of, you know, rescinded as such. But I don't know. It doesn't make sense to go into a second breach where apparently the first hearing was an absolute shit show, and Mashiri stood up and spoke out for himself and was an absolute laughing stock. So it doesn't make sense that you don't have. I mean, they might have a lawyer there, Rob. I don't know, but nothing's being mentioned in the press, but it normally is.
Yeah. So we're trying to preempt it, aren't we? And I'm still going to call it, buddy. I am still going to put my head on the chopping block and say we're not going to have points. They're not going to give us points.
Well, do you reckon that, like, I know I'm quoting the Football Insider, and it's absolute shit, that website, but they said the same thing on there, that there's got no but points deductions. But
John, have faith, my friend. Robbie always uses the word hope. So, you know, when I was shite at football and I used to get left on the wall years ago, I always had the hope that at some point I would be picked. And in the end, I was. I've the hope, mate. 6 points, not a chance. 4 points, not a chance. 2 points, ooh, I'm getting 2 in my head. But I'm also getting zilch, 0.
yeah,
So
I hope you're right, mate. Obviously, I hope you're right, but I'm just that cynical now. I'm thinking they're going to give us the 4 points back that they took off us. You know what I mean? And you're like, so we get to 10. So we get to 10
lads.
anyway.
Made a mistake.
Yeah, you know, you were all getting cushy there, like, you know, going whatever it is, wherever that we are in the league, 17th or whatever, 16th, and you got a bit comfortable, and you've had a 3-week break and blah blah blah, and boom, here's 4 points back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then we all woke up. Friend, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about? Yeah, all right, Rob. Lovely to see. Hey, have we got new people on tonight?
I think we have, mate.
If you're having it, that like and subscribe, I'm going to say you're dead quick. And if you want to be a VIP member, wow, well, that's like something else. Because every time it's your birthday, you get a card from Robbie in his birthday suit. So it's worth it just for that. So, yeah. So there you go. So hit the like and subscribe button and tell everyone about Hinge and Bracket. And as somebody said before, Cagney and Lacey, mate, that's our new nickname.
Lacey.
Yeah. I don't know which one was which. Like
John said what we said last night, mate, didn't he? All they got to do, Everton, is win games and make it impossible for them to relegate them.
John, you had a clairvoyant, my friend, because that was going to be our next little subject. It's still in our own hands. So if we come back from a 3-week break playing against the waiters and the waitresses, friendly matches over in Portugal, and roll over and get smashed against Bournemouth, then do you know what? It's going to be well. It's not even worth thinking about, because it's still in our own hands. Come back to the bit. Oh, there you go. Bit of magician. bit of magic again. I don't know what's happening, but I'm on the right and I'm on the left. And I used to play right wing as well.
You're like fucking David Copperfield to keep moving.
Well, do you know
around.
What, mate? I used to do that. I used to keep the defenders be going, get that skinny one, meaning me, and like some of the defenders were like rhinoceroses, you know what I mean? And you go, I can just shove it past you, mate. It's going right through your legs.
Yeah. This is what I was saying last night about Bournemouth being at home. They've only won 4 games at home all season. You know what I mean? So they're not great at home, but then we can't score goals, and it boils down to that. I'm just hoping that this little jolly away to Portugal, all he's been doing is striking balls into the back of the net.
The one on Bob, the one for Bob there, why would we not get points? You don't have to get points. You can deal with it another way. I think whoever's dealing with us now are going to go, fucking hell. I don't want to be tarred with the brush here of having them off again because of the. I used the word shitstorm. I should use a better word, but in the
maelstrom.
Okay, thanks, mate. I can't think of a better word, and I just think. If I was the independent committee sitting there to go, do you know what? What's the other options here? Because these have been had off already, and it is that double jeopardy again. So like any other way, because this has got my name on it, and there's no way I want to. I don't really want to be.
I think you'll be suspended. I think you'll be points deduction suspended.
Suspended for next year or 2028 or what?
it could be 3 years, yeah. Could be, but like I say, with the rules changing. Now, I spoke to you yesterday, didn't I, about this
was this
this
after the
thing, what
first pint,
City?
the second pint, or
I don't know. Like I run out of fingers and toes. But
yeah, let's have a chat about City. Come on, any Man City fans out there?
But I was talking to you yesterday about Etihad supposedly floating the business on the stock exchange to.
Yeah. Has anyone heard about this, by the way? Wes has got some good info here.
Yeah, it's out there in the general public, but they're meant to be. So what's been happening apparently is that obviously Etihad is Man City sponsors, but they've been cooking the books or allegedly cooking the books.
Wait,
and
you can't say that.
I said allegedly. so allegedly cooking the books, and they were supposedly paying 60 odd £million a year, Etihad, to Man City for the sponsorship. But in reality, they were only paying something like 6 or 8 million, and the rest of it was coming from Sheikh Mansour. You know what I mean? So what they're trying to do now by floating the company on the stock market is make the whole, for anybody who wants to invest, make it open and transparent to what their financial situation and what's being going in and out the business and all that. And they reckon if they was to do that, then that sort of some of the charges might be dropped, because obviously the transparency's there of what's been. But that doesn't make a great deal of difference, because they can still cook the books if they've got the right people in there to hide things, haven't they? You know what I mean?
Well, do you know what? The beauty about Everton, this Follow Everton page, this web browser, this web chat is, we say it as it is, don't we, Wes?
Yeah.
There's no hiding this. This is like, we're not really. What's that saying? Woke, mate. What? How do you sort of see that now? Because the people talk about it all the time, don't they? And it's like on an airplane now, you can't say good morning, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard flight BA557Y, which we're taking you down to Malaga today. You can't say ladies and gentlemen, and apparently teachers can't say morning, boys and girls. What's gone wrong, mate?
Well, it all started with all this player of the match business, didn't it? Like,
but
it's not man the match, or
who raised it to sort of go, man, who's man of the match today? Who's put the complaint in to go, you can't say that?
No idea.
When it's 11 men against 11 men, by the way, it's kind of like, why can't you say man of the match? I'm just being a devil's advocate out there now. If anyone's got any ideas, because sometimes this stuff just goes whoosh right over my head.
Well, Souness got in trouble, didn't he, for on Sky for turning around and saying it's a man's game when there's 22 men on the pitch, and so I think somebody got tackled or something, and he was like, "Come on, it's a man's game," and like he got castigated in social media for saying that. It's like,
but on that particular day,
11 men.
On that particular day, it was a man's game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He wasn't doing a commentary about the WSL or the World Cup in Australia, which was, I've got to say, absolutely loved watching the girls. This is not anti-girls, anti-ladies, whatever shape or form. No. I'm just not getting why you can't say certain things these days. Because, mate, here's a little story. I went for a coffee a few weeks ago, and I ordered a coffee, extra hot latte, as a latte, because I've got, I'm quite posh, and I was handed the coffee, and I offered my card to put on the machine. And I like to use my manners. I went, thanks, hon. And the person on the other end of the counter went, did you just say hun? And I went, yeah. So I carried on trying to pay with my card on. She went, I'll ask you again. Did you just say hun? And I said, yeah, I did. And she kicked off on me. I said, what's your problem? I said, I still call my wife. I'm on and home. I still call me girls. Hi, babes, and whatever. I said, I'm a dinosaur. I said, if I didn't mean to cause any offence, and she went off like on a bottle of pop, and I tell you what, even leave the coffee because my card wasn't working, and I just walked away. But I can't forget it because I didn't mean no harm, but she's took it as though I've literally just committed a serious offence. So
you've got to be what's naming that. You've got to be mindful these days of what comes out your mouth, haven't you? But especially when you're talking to the younger generation, like Amy just said there that she's, as a teen, she should be in the woke generation, but being through so much rubbish that she's developed a thick skin, and that's the situation. Is these like the youngsters and all that? I wouldn't say they're the woke brigade. You know what I mean? But like when I'm in the taxi, I just like any women. I like my love, and it's just
it's very Scouts. It's very Scouts, isn't it? It's that. It's I use it as a term of endearment. It's my philosophy of life is it's nice to be nice, but you've got a lot of angry heads out there, and in the end, I thought I used my diplomacy and I walked away, my friend, because if she'd have got the other side of Robbie, I would have really come out with, and I don't mean threats, but she'd have got it because she was prepared to dish it out. So I basically just turned the other cheek and I walked away.
I just want to go back to this comment from John. John's saying he's not an Evertonian, but he's enjoying watching the stadium being built.
John, what team do you support, mate? Just out of interest. And where are you? Just out of interest, only because I'm a nosy thing. So lovely to see you, John. Yeah, thanks for your comments. And we're all looking forward to the stadium being built as well. I mean, apparently the cladding company have gone bust on it. Do you know what, Wes? I hope that's all sorted out. And do you know what I did, mate? I applied for, like they're going to have a fan zone, aren't they? So they're going to have certain bars within the complex of Bramley-Moore Dock.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, do you know what? I'll just send off and just see, what's it all about, Alfie. So, and then they've sent me one back going, it's 2,750 for the season. So I read it like a couple of days ago, and I thought, like, what do I get for that? Is that like is a bottomless brunch before the match or what?
Or
just to be part of it, and I've still got to buy me beer because I still don't know. If anyone knows out there, and you've got the facts on that one, I'm just totally intrigued.
I'd want to move in for that.
It's like, wow. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. I want an experience and I want to be entertained, but if it's 2,750 before I even start, I'll be going in the Titanic Hotel and having a pint before I go in.
Right. So what are we saying about this? What's the viewers out there saying about Forest and
Leicester?
Obviously they're right. Yeah, Leicester and their right to appeal. Obviously Leicester's a different situation. Like they breached profit and sustainability and then got relegated. So they're kind of like trying to play devil's advocate. What you can't do is because we wasn't in the Premier League, and the EFL can't do is because we're not. We won't be in the EFL. So, it's like trying to play one off against the other. So, but I think somewhere along the line they'll get done. But they're threatening to take the Premier League to court, aren't they? And that'll be very interesting.
Well, they were threatening to sue us as well, weren't they?
Yeah. And it's come back to bite them on the arse, hasn't
it? Well, mate, we all know, don't we? We all know there's a few people who it's going to come back to bite on the Alfa Romeo Sierra Echo at the Premier League.
I was watching that Alex Crook the other week on TalkSport. He's the head of the football journalism TalkSport, and he reckons that 80% of the Premier League are sailing close to the winds of PSR. You know what I mean? So the other 20% are obviously the ones at the top, isn't it? But then you've got the likes of Chelsea, and obviously Man City have got 115 pending charges. So, where's that other 20%? teams like Brighton and stuff like that.
Well, Chelsea. Let's just briefly talk about Chelsea. Are we saying they're £1 billion in debt, or they've spent £1 billion? We don't really know the debts, do we?
No,
they've spent £1 billion, haven't they? And where are they in the league, mate? Where are they?
They're probably round about 10th, 9th, 10th.
But they're classed as top 6, though, aren't they?
Yeah. Purely no because of the.
So if they finish 10th this season and
they'll still be
6th or 7th next season, yeah, it's pathetic, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, you reckon that next season, if they don't sell something like £300 million worth of players, they're going to be in breach.
Well, I'm sure they could do that, couldn't they? The amount of players that they bought. I mean,
but Amy's got a point here, right? Is that Leicester was told to sell players to stay within PSR, right? And they wouldn't do it, and obviously they wouldn't disclose the books either, right? So if they go up, but if they go up, Robbie, right? If they go up this season, right? Surely the teams in the EFL have got a right to sue them if they get found guilty.
I mean, all the teams in the EFL, or just the ones who've missed out?
Obviously, the ones that might finish in the playoffs and don't get through into the Premier League.
Yeah, but here's one you've just said it, and I'm just going to put it out there again. How do you get away? Yeah, when it's a professional body and you've signed the rule book and whatever. How do you get away with not providing the books for them to be audited? How do you get away with that?
Well,
straight away, that should be right. Okay, because let's face it, mate. You're self-employed, and if I said, "Well, I'm not paying me tax, and I'm going to work for," I'm not going to declare this. I'm not going to declare that, mate. You're going to prison, aren't you? Even on a first offence.
That's the thing that they're disputing is that because they weren't in the Premier League and he was in the EFL, they didn't have to show the Premier League their books because he was an EFL team.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? This is the thing that they're disputing, but I think the sort of reading between the lines, when the season that they went down, they were over the PSR then. So the Premier League is saying, well, you do have to show us your books because you was in the Premier League then when you broke the rules. Because even though they went down to the Premier League, it went down to the EFL. There was
because of Everton.
No, because they was shite. but it's also one of them, right? Is that like Amy said then about the teams in the EFL, if they go up without, because they wouldn't sell any players. If they go up, then the teams that are in the up at the top of the championship, they'll maybe have a case to sue Leicester. But then the teams that get relegated might have a case to sue them as well.
It's just crazy. But do you know what, Amy? Don't you make some great points? Wow, absolutely spot on, mate. Credit
for a teenager, Rob.
You bring enough stuff there. It's like even some of the stuff I haven't even thought about. So, and that's the beauty of this channel and having a little chat with you, because we have a little chat and then we say what you think and whatever, and then you make us think about other things, and maybe we do the same to you. So it's kind of called teamwork. I absolutely love doing the follow Everton stuff with my mate Wes. I absolutely love it. Been looking forward.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Rob? Right, and this is the Evertonians in general are so like well educated in football terms. You know what I mean? Like you can sit on here, come on here, and be like a plastic Man United fan and think you can spout shit and talk out your ass for 45, 50 minutes. But then you've got to know your onions. You know what I mean? You've got to know what you're talking about. There's no point in coming on here and just spouting a load of dribble. That is not
just
true.
for those people out of town what Wes means about you've got to know your onions. It means you've got to know your stuff just in case. That's kind of like a local Scouse slang. You've got to know your onions. And I know exactly what he's saying, but sometimes if you're living out of town, out of Liverpool, you might go, what's he talking about? Onions? So there you go. We just thought to explain that one.
To be fair, I just thought that was a general phrase anyway.
No, it's not, honestly. So listen,
But, yeah,
what about let's kind of move on from Forest and the Foxes and whatever, because they're gonna get whatever, mate. You get paid back, and boy, oh boy, what a game at Goodison that one's gonna be. 21st of April, I think it is. Everton will play Nottingham Forest at Goodison Park. Is it a 3 p.m. kickoff, or is it changed because of those beautiful people? Is it Sky? Those people that love the Blues? They're filming it. Are they filming it? Are they putting it out? Is it changed from a 3 p.m. kickoff?
They're all them games that have switched. They're all on Sky, aren't they? Them 3 home games.
So it won't be 3 o'clock then, will it? Will that be a 5:30 on a Saturday, or?
I'm not sure. Our mate
if you know,
us.
Yeah, if you know out there, just let us know on that game against Forest, because that's going to be OMG. All right, friend, let's move on. 777. What are you thinking?
We spoke again about this yesterday, didn't we? That like the Premier League have said they're minded to approve 777 as new owners.
Explain that one.
Which means nothing.
Minded
means nothing.
I've never used it. Do you use that term? Minded.
All that means, right, is that like they aren't in a position to ratify 777. They've got this other panel that's overseeing them that have put stipulations in place of what they've got to come up with before they can be classed as new owners. So one of them is to turn £150 million worth of loans into equity. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to then fund the rest of the stadium, and they've got to be able to fund Everton for the rest of the season. They've got to show that before they can be classed as new owners, which is if you and they've also got to pay back MSP Sports Capital their money for the funding of the stadium, which was 180 million. So I was roughly calculating it, and I think all that probably totals up to round about £500 million. It's probably, I think I was underestimating it. I think it's probably nearly more 750 million or maybe £1 billion
that they've got to come up with.
Before that they can, and this has got to be by mid-April, by the way.
Yeah, it's not happening, is it? In all fairness, it's not happening. And something else we spoke about yesterday while we were having a wee dram is the supposed investors just waiting in the wings, waiting. And we spoke about how do we not know who they are. And in all fairness, I don't think they want to reveal themselves because ethically, and there's like an etiquette, isn't it, amongst.
But they've got exclusivity, 777.
Yeah. So you can't come along. Yeah, you can't come along and go, oh, by the way, we're waiting for them to start going on social media. We're waiting for them to trip up, and it's going to happen because it's not good for your product, is it? So now, is that the case, or is that someone's put that out there that? If the 777 go bust or it doesn't work out, then don't worry, we've got someone else. You wouldn't know, would you?
No. This is what Simon Jordan was talking about the other day, right, on TalkSport. Now, some of the stuff he comes out with is all right, and some of the stuff he comes out with is absolute drivel. You know what I mean? Like he said there's not a massive amount of people queuing up to buy Everton. Well, he doesn't know that, and we don't know that. The only people that knows that is the people who might be, because they won't show their hand until whatever happens with 777 happens. If they get ratified and they come up with the dough, then you'll never know whether there's people waiting in the wings. If they don't, I reckon there's going to be a queue of people out the door waiting to step up and buy us. It's just the debt is an issue. You know what I mean? Because we owe people loads of money. You know what? Straight away, 777 are going to be owed like 200 million. Then you, like you say, then you've got MSP Sports Capital, then Cheshire Rights and Media. They're all owed money, 200 million. Then you've got like you said, MSP. They're owed 180 million. So there you've got like over $500 million and people that we owe money to.
Yeah. When you talk about it like that, mate, it is kind of like it does make you go. There's that
But
element of it is worrying. Yeah,
it's worrying. This rumor that's going around, this nasty rumor that's going around, is that if 777 get in, then they're gonna sell the stadium off and rent it back, and that's like just defeats the object of building a stadium, because we're trying to build that stadium to increase revenue, and once you start like selling it off, that the person who owns that stadium or the company that owns that stadium, then they'll any like concerts and this, that, and the other, they'll be getting all that revenue. It won't be coming to us. You know what I mean? So it's like you're kind of defeating the object of building the stadium. The stadium's there, yeah, it looks lovely to play football in the new stadium and all this, that, and the other, but you also want the financial aspect of it to sort of be beneficial as well.
Yeah. So that's work in progress on the treble 7, because it ain't going to happen tomorrow. It ain't going to happen next week. It's one to ponder on, and I'm sure we'll be doing a stream on it in the very, very, very near future when obviously other things are sorted out as well, i.e. the points and
but
all the other things.
Bob makes it a good point there, is that he doesn't think anyone will go to buy us unless we go into administration. But this is what 777 is funding to stop us doing that. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be in their best interests to let Everton fall into administration, because they'll get the club for next to nothing.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I kind of get what he's saying, but I don't think it's if prospective buyers want to buy Everton and they end up getting relegated, then obviously the cost of the club then becomes a lot cheaper. But you're in the Championship and you've got to try and get yourself out the Championship. It's a risky strategy, because there's no guarantees that you're going to go up the first chance you get in it. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, you've got the overheads of a brand new stadium, and yet we'll fill it week in, week out, whether we're in the Championship or whether we're in the Premier League. 100%. We're not plastic fans, Rob. You know that.
Yeah, 52,000. No, I'm just being the devil. 52,000 week in, week out.
Yeah, every other week it'll be a full stadium.
So the season ticket holders, because there's a list of 25,000. They're going to be made up, aren't they? Because and if you're at the bottom of the list, you're going to move substantially up the list, aren't you?
Yeah. You straight away you're adding, like we was talking about this again. We keep harping on about it. Literally our conversation yesterday when the pub was just about Everton all day. But we was talking about this.
How sad's that?
But it was talking about this of how much money is generated on a match day compared to your overall finances at the end of the year, and it's not a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got obviously the commercial side of it, where people are going in buying shirts and scarves and whatnot, and this, that, and the other, and it all adds up. Do you know what I mean? But it's still only a tiny fraction of what can be made in sponsorships and selling corporate events out. And
mate, can I just stop you for a sec? Which one of us, the two, is she talking about there, Becky?
I think she's talking about both of us, Rob. I think she's missed the S. Look, you've done it again. Done it again. Look, magic.
How are we flipping one another from left and right? How are you on the right wing now, and I'm on the left wing? How's that working?
I think the manager told us to switch wings.
Right, okay, mate. I love it.
It's all tactics, Rob.
Yeah.
So Bob's saying here, the thing, when people put money into assets like land, they acquire an interest. The word you use, beneficial, means an interest in land different than ownership and name.
Bloody hell, Bob. May I ask you to elaborate a little bit more on that one? I do understand the property side of things, but I've never bought land. So, yeah, and there's be a lot of other people out there that be going, scratching their heads going, go on then, what's all that about? Bob's having a little think about what he's going to explain that one. What about players on international duty over the last couple of days?
Stu.
Hi, Stu.
Stu's back. He's a regular. Rod, witchcraft. What is this sorcery? Switching wings. The internationals. I didn't really catch last night, obviously, because we was having a few scooperoonies. I think I caught the last 20 minutes and they were getting beat 2-1, and I went to bed before they equalised because I just thought this shite. But in a way, I'm happy Bramley didn't get on the pitch. Being selfish, as you know, don't want him injured, and I want him playing for Everton
at this moment in time. Yeah.
The thing is, fair play to the lad. I don't know whether you've seen his post on Instagram, and he basically said, you know, onto the weekend and this, that, and the other. So his mind's straight away wanting to get back on the pitch playing for Everton and drag us out the shit. Fair play to the lad. The Pickford mistake. He's made one mistake in his entire career, and the amount of times he saved England. Right? Oh, makes one mistake, and the media are all over it, Rob, aren't they? Never mind that Lewis Dunk fucking made a mistake either. Pickford made this massive mistake. So yeah, Bob's saying, is Bob following up on in layman's terms. I mean, like ownership in someone's name, it's just a way to have rights when living with someone who owns property, but says doesn't pay towards the mortgage or even co-ownership like joint tenancy. There you go.
Okay.
Thanks for that, Bob.
Thank you. I get it. I understand that.
Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky saying he's happy for Michalenko. They got through to the Euros, did they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're right. In their difficult times, something to cheer about. Totally agree. That was probably, and the fact that Maiko getting to the Euros, and the fact that Seamus had two cracking games, 2 90-minute games, and you'd play him on Saturday. Would you play him on Saturday, mate, against Bournemouth?
Michalenko.
Yeah.
Got no choice, have we?
No, sorry, Coleman.
Oh, Coleman.
Did you play Coleman?
Did he play last night against Scotland?
Yeah.
Was it Scotland?
Yeah,
no, it was Northern Ireland that's played Scotland. Who did the Republic
play? Switzerland, was it?
Was it? And he played, did he? Played the full 90?
Yeah, he's played two games,
yeah,
played well. So
whichever way you look at it.
And Switzerland.
Yeah, whichever way you look at it, he's our best right back.
Yeah.
Even at his age, was he 35? Even at his age, he's still our best right back, and he offers more. He offers more going forward than what Godfrey or Patterson do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mate, you can't write him off at 35. Like you can't write me and you off at the ages we are, because we've still got it. It's still in there, and it's still up there, mate.
You never forget
it. Never forget that. Doesn't matter what age you are. What did you see Onana in the 2 games? Did you see? Did he have any worldies at all? No way.
I can't say that, but do you know what? And Onana is a different Onana playing with Belgium than what he is playing with Everton, and he's fantastic for Belgium. He really is. You know what I mean? And I just think I was talking about last night is that he like I was trying to like compare the thing. Like my son does taekwondo, right, and he's a blue belt with red tag, so he's only 2 belts off a black belt, right, and when he's sparring it with people that are not as good as him, he brings himself down to their level instead of absolutely wiping the floor with them. He brings himself down to that level.
Yeah.
And I think that's what goes on with Onana. Whereas he should be grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. And we say, we all say, like, he should be setting an example. It's like, they're all shithouses, aren't they? They're like, I don't want the ball, you have the ball. I don't want it, you have it. You have it back, pass it back to Tarkowski, he'll have it.
Yeah, because we spoke about the stadium again, and the fact that not just maybe Everton fans, but home fans in general these days, the expectations, I don't know, are they higher? Because when I used to go, mate, like for years and years and years, decade after decade, I went for like 30, 45, 50 years on the trot, like week in, week out. It didn't appear to be as quiet as it is now on occasions, and the verbal abuse and whatever. I'm not quite sure what's happened in society and in life. I sometimes reflect on it and go, what's gone wrong? What's gone wrong? What makes you want to chase players down the street and with all this lads, you're fucking this and you're getting fucking banged and I'm coming to your house and I'm gonna do whatever. I'm just not quite sure. And social media, there's no place to hide, is there? So
no,
I don't want to use the word toxic. You've used the word toxic. I just want to say what has gone wrong, because what the Everton fans need to do is, we say this all the time, don't we? If they don't get behind the team at Goodison, they're going to be shitting themselves, and then potentially the performance is going to drop off. So
yeah, the thing is that, like, the team are not giving the fans anything to cheer about. So
is that tactics? Is that the manager, or is that the players just going,
no, it's the players.
I'm not up for it, or I can't do it? So can they do it? Can they do it?
They can do it.
They proved
that they can do it. No, they proved that they can do it with them 4 wins on the bounce, Rob.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And now, what went wrong after the 4 wins?
Well, I think they got it. They got beat, and then like it just went downhill from there, didn't it?
After the penalty against Fulham, we keep saying, don't we?
Yeah,
that was the one. Whether it was that or not, but after that, we went downhill.
Yeah. Nosedived in a dramatic fashion.
Was it the penalty, or was it the fact of the points deduction and all the negativity associated with Everton getting in their heads?
I think it was probably a mixture of both.
We're going to touch on it in a minute, so we're just kind of setting the scene on the mental health side of things.
I think it was a mixture of all of that, Rob. I think the fact, when you and I keep saying it, is when you providing your forwards good opportunities and they're not putting it into the back of the net.
Wait, gotta put. I mean, I can't not put that up, can I? Emma?
No.
You were on the stream going back a couple of weeks back, and we do remember, because we spoke about it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And there you go. So it doesn't get any better than that. If we can put a smile on your face
our job is done.
That's it. Honestly, absolutely. I'll have a little drink, a little toast to you and your dad after the stream, but not on the stream, because it's got to be professional.
And all the fellow Blues are sending out condolences.
Best wishes to Emma and Emma's dad.
Yeah,
thinking of you.
See if you can pull a few goals in the weekend. Will you send them down to Bournemouth, Emma?
Yeah, because we'll be on the stream. So what's coming up? Let's give you a little flavour of what's coming up. So tomorrow we've got the pre-match with Mabsy and Stevie, and on Saturday you've got Cagney and Lacey, Hinge and Brackett, Starsky and Hutch again, me and Wez, and then after the pre-match you've got Chris Leitch, who's going to be doing a watch-along, and then you'll have the post-match. And then you'll probably on a Sunday, you'll have Chad and Chris Leitch again over in the States talking about a debrief of the game. I mean, it's like, wow, all that stuff coming up, and it's all free.
All free.
It's all free. But if you want to subscribe, you're more than welcome.
It's
You
free
are
to
more than
subscribe.
welcome.
Free. Apparently now.
If you want to be a special,
now, if you want to be a VIP member, there's a 99p one. I think there's a $3.99 one, and if you're a business, you can go to VIP for, I think it's $8.99 a month or something, Rob.
Yeah. So for 99 pence once a month, Ryan takes you out for a Greg sausage roll. For $2.99,
vegan one though.
You go for a Happy Meal, and then for the £8, I think you go for up to the top of the tower in a posh hotel and have sushi.
No, you go to Burnley Inn and have a steak.
Oh, the Burnley Inn, yeah, steak and peas.
Yeah,
steak and peas. So, friends, I'm sorry you were in full flow there, but I saw Emma's little comments.
That's fair enough.
And I couldn't, mate. So
I don't mind getting interrupted for that.
Because you're old, because we're both old, you probably forgot your train of thought now, haven't you?
No, I was talking about the crowd. Goodison is like
Goodison, yeah.
When things are going good, there's no better crowd. But soon as things start going bad, they turn on the team very, very quickly. And all we need to do now is find that form back, and that we went when we won 4 games on the bounce after we got the 10-point deduction. But then they say you've got this other breach now hanging over us. So once again, going into the mental health thing of the players, they don't, the same as the fans, they don't know what's going to happen and this, that, and the other. But
let's talk about it, mate. Let's talk about mental health, because we mentioned going back a few weeks ago about Everton being so poor and the fact that people do live on their own, and people do have, sometimes you might not be blessed with a big income or a job, or something's happened in your family like Emma and whatever, and you're not quite sure how you're going to deal with it. Now, Everton might just be a part of your life, and you can't even turn to Everton because you're having a hard time with your life, and you turn to the team to try and G it up, and we're a load of...
Yeah, I mean, Amy touched on it the other week, didn't she?
Yeah.
About it and how it affects, sort of weekends. If Everton get beaten, with a little baby and all that, and it's like it does affect. Like I say, it affects me. I lose sleep over it. I do. I think like if Calvert-Lewin's like Mr. Heather or something like that, and it plays over in your mind when you're lying there and you've got nothing else to think about, and you think, if it only he'd come off his head the right way and he'd have jumped a little bit earlier, and you're playing it over in your head, and you shouldn't be.
Have you seen the Richarlison interview today?
I've seen a bit of it, yeah. And you got to feel for the lads, because
it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank. I mean, I always think Robin Williams was a fantastic actor, and I just loved Robin Williams. I thought he was great, but like a lot of these people in Hollywood and whatever, they're all going to rehab. They're all doing the gear, and they're all getting bladdered out their head because.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because they can't go to the local shops, or they can't go for a meal without getting mobbed and whatever. So mental health comes in many, many different guises. I remember my father, who was he was going back in the Second World War, 15 years old, and he was fighting over as a desert rat over in Egypt. Now, he must have seen as a young boy some serious atrocities. But I didn't know none of this. And as I was growing up, no one would ever discuss it with you. So my mum, when I used to see my dad crying and whatever, I'd always be ushered out of the room. And I guess they were doing that to protect me, when really I was always wanting to know, because I was an inquisitive child, wanting to know, why is my dad crying? Is it me? I was thinking it was me that's upset him, or whatever. And he was always very... maybe not as loving as he could have been or he wanted to be, because he clearly had some issues, and he had a nervous breakdown and he died at 57. And there you go. There was no psychologist then. There was no one to talk to. What Richarlison's saying today and what Wes and I are both saying is, if you are having some troubles and a few problems, there genuinely are some wonderful people to talk to out there, the Samaritans, and you can go online and you know, these people, they work for charities, so it's kind of, I think it is important to mention it, because I know that as society goes these days, a lot of, you know, you might not have the income, you might not be able to afford things and whatever, and you don't want to be getting into the problem with the loan sharks and whatever. I mean, we could do a whole stream on it, but it's just something that it's never goes away with me, and I genuinely 1,000,000,000% I get mental health. I've worked in that field as well, so
like you say, it doesn't matter, you know, what line of work you do, how much money you got coming. Look at Aaron Lennon. It must be something to do with Everton. You know, Aaron Lennon, he was the one. He was another one. Tom Calvert-Lewin's come out and spoke about his mental health issues. Obviously, Richarlison. It's got to be Everton. You know what I mean? It's like we absolutely destroy people's mental health. But who's the other one that used to play for? Was it Burnley? The fella who was in the car crash. What's his name? Carlisle, was it? Retired now. He tried to kill himself in the car accident, didn't he? Can't remember his first name.
No, can't remember his name.
But he survived.
Mate.
Somebody Carlisle, his name was. But he retired, and but he was another one that suffered with his mental health, and I think he'd had a couple of goes of trying to kill himself.
So, like the midweek streams here, I mean, you know, there's a few people who've come on and said, you know, we put a smile on people's faces. Do you know what? That's what we're here to do. You know, Wes and I, we do take the PISS, you know, out of a lot of things, but equally we can be serious as well. So, we like to have a laugh. We try and put another side of being a Blue, but it is all nice to talk. It is lovely to talk, and I think, mate, it was just an idea we had a few weeks ago, wasn't it, to do the midweek Blues with Wes and Robbie. And to be honest with you, I think Clark Carlisle was that fella. I think it's going to be a goal for a few weeks now. So as long as you fans out there want us to have a chat about life, then hey, we'll do it for you, won't we, Wes?
Well, say some, you know, people come on here and they get things off the chest that they want to get off, and you know, people know that obviously other people are getting to see these things, but they're happy to share it with the Everton community. You know what I mean? Because there's nobody here judging anybody. You know, it's not nobody's place on here to judge anybody. So
you mentioned the community. Everton and the community do some wonderful work around mental health as well, don't they?
Yeah, but Amy's off the caravan.
Amy's
during the Easter holidays. Amy's going off the caravan for a couple of weeks with the little baby and that. So
you've just took me back. You've took me back there. The word caravan. I can see North myself Wales. In Abergele, mate.
Yeah,
Abergele in the caravan.
Real sunset. Scousers right to passage. That was, mate.
Have a lovely time, Amy. Have a lovely time, and just back on to Emma on that one. And do you know what? Thanks, Emma. It's just we're a team, aren't we? Yeah, we say we are a team. It's not just about us. We share things. We are, but I say a team. We're like a family. I think we are like a little family. I think it's absolutely amazing. Because let's face it, mate, we're touching on stuff that it's not just about players, is it? We're talking about people's lives. We're talking about people's lives, aren't we? And how important
Mr. Blue Skies as well there. Gary Speed, obviously, we did forget about Gary Speed. Yeah. What a loss. What a nice man.
Thanks for reminding us there, Mr. Blue Skies, on that one. Again, that's the beauty of you folk out there as well, because you're not quite sure where you're going with a certain subject, and then thank you for that one. Yeah.
Well, there's lots of players that and when you're in, especially when you're in situations like this, when it's even at I'd imagine even at the top, when you're fighting for leagues and stuff like that, that's got to affect your mental health if you're in a tussle. You know what I mean? That's on the other end of the scale, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you're down the bottom and you're struggling, the players in like Burnley and Sheffield United, it must affect them massively because they look like they're doomed. And then obviously you've got the ones that are still fighting it out. But we spoke to Peter Duggan a long time ago about it, his mental health issues.
Yeah,
and he's just saying he sympathises with Richarlison.
Yeah, and we hope we put a smile on your face, Peter, because trust me, mate, you certainly put a smile on our faces. So yes, Tyson Fury, yeah, heavyweight champ, yeah. I mean, Emma, yeah, you're right. They're all.
It
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how big and hard you are. There's always a weakness, or there might be something that just triggers something in your head to go, I'm not feeling too good today. So, but I get it.
But you know what?
Being there,
the best thing to do is talk about it, mate.
It's good to talk.
It's as simple as that.
And just remember, once a week, Wes and I, we're going to be. I'm not saying with the Samaritans. I mean, that's like an insult. But we're
not qualified. Although, as a taxi driver, I feel like I am. I've had people tell me all sorts in the car, Rob.
Yeah. And I'm like Claire Rayner, mate. I'm like Claire Rayner. Everyone tells me all the problems, but that's not a problem.
Robbie, hold on. There's a few younger generation on here who won't even know who Claire Rayner is.
Well, you'll have to Google Claire Rayner because she was like an agony aunt. So I'm like the agony aunt or the agony uncle. Tell me what it is and I'll box it off for you if I can. It only takes a phone call, doesn't it? I tell you what, I have been laughing about the last couple of days is these divvies putting the price tag on Branthwaite's head. But Jeff Sterling was saying about 45 million. Or did he? Or is that the press? Is that the press staring? Is that the press staring it?
Oh, he's on Talk Sports, so he would have come out with that. But
45.
It won't even get his left leg. That, to me,
that's the first down payment.
If somebody wants him, they've got to break a British record to buy him. Got to.
We're talking six figures, friend, aren't we?
But we won't though. Like when they're talking, like the rumours going around, Everton won 110 million for Onana and for Branthwaite. Branthwaite's worth that on his own.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
totally
I don't know where. I think this situation. This is what has arose because of Mashiri, right? This is what, because we're in the brown and smelly, the shit, financially wise. All these pundits and media and Talk Sport and all that, do you think we're going to get rid of our players on the cheap, our star players? We've got to sell them for under market value. We haven't. Next year we're not going to be in. We're not going to be in breach next year. Do you know what I mean? So we haven't got to sell players on the cheap.
Yeah. So, but it is an insult. Every time they talk about our club, it's not very positive. It's
never is.
Your players made a mistake, or he's not where he should be dropped, whatever, playing for England duty or whatever. And then it's an insult to the Branthwaite to actually say how that everyone's saying how wonderful he is, and then come out with 45 million, like we've got to sell him. So you can go and do one. It's not happening.
The sad fact of the matter is, Rob, right, is that if he stays at Everton, he's going to tread water. He'll play games. He'll play week in, week out, and he's not guaranteed that by going to a Man City or Barcelona that he's supposed. Barcelona have got no money, but they're talking about, like, I thought it was, which I got corrected yesterday, is that it was one of 4 players that they were willing to swap for Onana. And yesterday I got told it was all 4 players. Now, there's no way in this world that Barcelona are going to part with 4 players for Onana. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. That Ansu Fati, who's not getting the game of Brighton, was fantastic for Barcelona when he first broke onto the scene. So I don't know what's happened to him. But he's more likely be he'll be draw the short straw, or you're going to Everton because we're getting Onana. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. But I can't see us getting all four of them.
Watch this space, Wes, because you and I, mate, are probably going to be doing a chat about it all. How exciting is that?
Yeah. So
we're staying up. We're staying up.
So
you heard it? We're staying up.
Stu's saying, in the event we sell any players, are we going to see any of the money for new transfers? Or is all the money going to go to 777 or anywhere else we owe money to? Not too sure on that one. Not too sure on that one. It could end up being like the Arteta money. Go straight to the bank.
Yeah, I I genuinely could see a few player exchanges, because if say the likes of Brantwaite goes for 100 million, say for instance, this is the scenario, then it's not in our interest just to let him go for 100 million and the money goes in the bank, is it? So you kind of want to do a deal like you would do Monopoly.
You've got to reinvest it in the squad. Like you can't get rid of two quality players. And make no bones about it, Onana's got the potential to be amazing if he in a good team.
How much?
I'd say we should get double what we paid for him. So what was it, 30
66,
million?
33 we bought him for.
Yeah,
but
so
bear in mind, we've got to give 20% to. It came from Lille, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we've got to give them 20%.
Yeah. So obviously you got to try and drive the price up, aren't you? But to offset that, try and offset that 20%. So if you can get short of them for say 60, say 65, obviously 20% of that's 13 million.
Yeah. Well, buddy, I think we've had a great night. I'm absolutely I think we've covered all of the stuff we wanted to and more. Is anything else you want to chat about, my friend, or is there any of our beautiful people out there want to have a little chat about something? We've been on a long flight and we're just coming into land, Wes and I. So we're just basically telling you to put your seatbelts on, and the captain's telling you that it's going to be a nice, smooth landing before we finish the show. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Wes? Although you beautiful people out there?
I'm all good, mate. I think we've covered most of everything we wanted to do tonight. Just looking forward to the weekend now after having a 3-week break, and hopefully the players come back with a fresh attitude and they start fucking banging in some goals, mate. You know what I mean?
One of them, any of them.
Yeah, any goal will do. You know what I mean? It's like they say. I hope they've gone to Portugal and just Beto, Chimiti, Dobbin, and DCL have just been remedial fucking goal scoring. Bang, bang, bang. Because they haven't put any videos up for a while. Because I'd imagine they're back at Finch Farm now, aren't they?
It's gone. Went a little bit quiet after the negativity. They must have had a bit of a press blank out after the Patterson incidents, which kind of spoiled things a little bit, I guess, for the positivity of look at what we're doing and look at what we're trying to do. But there you go. We live for another day. So until Saturday, when Wes and I will join you.
Peter Duggan met Sammy Lee yesterday. He lives in Egbert,
Yeah, he's all right, Sammy Lee.
Yeah,
Sammy Lee's all right. Yeah, Sammy Lee's one of them fellas where you can walk up to and just have a natter to, or if you're in a bar, whatever. Like you and I, we were lucky enough to meet Kevin Campbell recently. But all the old players, they're all approachable. You can have a pint with them, you can have a coffee with them, and they'll sign an autograph and have a photograph. Not maybe not so much the new breed.
I'm just going to go through a few of these comments because we've missed a few out, mate, and I don't like missing people out because they took the time to. So Mr. Blue Sky saying he's not a fan of swapping our players for cast-offs, but I'll be a fan of it if we're getting better players for what we've got. That's all I'll say on that. If we're getting a better standard and a better quality of player than what we got, and yet, like I say, I think Onan is in a better team with better players. I think he'll be outstanding. Just at the moment, he's not showing enough for me. I mean, Bramthwaite's going to be a superstar anyway.
Yeah.
But we want money for him. Do you know what I mean? I was saying, looks like the Arteta money could have been spent on bringing Arteta back according to Brands. Yeah, that's another one we didn't touch on, was it? That Marcel Brands had Arteta in the house and was.
Well, he dodged the bullet, didn't he? Arteta dodged the bullet with Everton. In all fairness,
yeah,
because the money was spent.
The thing is with that, with me, right, is that you don't. It pisses me off a bit, to be honest, Robbie, right? Because you think Arteta never ever played for Everton because all he harps on about is Arsenal this, Arsenal that. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I know he's the manager, but he was doing that before he even become the manager. It was Arsenal this and Arsenal that. And you're like, don't forget, we fucking dragged you out of the doldrums from Real Sociedad and brought you to the Premier League. You know, because he was on loan at Rangers, went back to Real Sociedad. And then we dragged him out the doldrums from there and made him into the player that he was. And then he left for Arsenal. And then all he's talking about is Arsenal this, Arsenal that.
So we have made players in the past, haven't we? Not everyone who comes to Everton is shite, are they?
No, not all of them. But you know what? I'd love them days back with the Kales and the Pinars and the Artetas, though. You know what I mean? Because
not in our lifetime.
But they weren't like that great to watch, but there was a good team.
Yeah,
like they were hard to beat. Anymore, we got there.
Any more comments?
Barry Probin says, "Good show, lads. Keep up the good work."
Thanks, Baz.
See you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Mr. Blue Sky saying, who'd say Arteta would have done a good job though? No, it's all ifs, ands, and maybes, isn't it? And he, like you say, he wouldn't have had any money to spend either. So, yeah. So anybody that's coming into Everton as a manager have got the hands tied behind the backs, haven't they? So, yeah, they're playing with a dodgy hand. Well, yeah, I think that's about it, mate. I think we're all done. I'll just see if
what a lovely night. I feel at peace, and I feel like we're having a chat with you, Wes, and with everyone else. I can go to bed and just relax tonight. I think that we've done a good job, and it's we've had so many. I mean, we've got 126,000 there globally looking at the stream tonight. 126,000.
Yeah, we've had some new ones on as well tonight.
Wow. And a little shout out to Chris Leitch's mate who's in Australia, who apparently listens to you and I on his podcast when he's going to work.
And he loves it.
And he works, I'm not sure if he works down the copper mines, and he thinks that and he can actually understand what we say.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you know what though? It's that, like, obviously Chris and Chad, like, Chris puts a lot of work in behind the scenes and he's absolutely fantastic at it.
Beautiful,
right?
Yeah.
Whereas me and Robbie are technophobes and we don't know any of that fucking bollocks, you know what I mean? But Chris puts a lot of work in with the stats and all like that. So
he's on another level.
Yeah.
We just do the basics.
Yeah, we do the basics. Chat shit for an hour and a half or whatever.
Basically, we're like a goggle box, aren't we?
People watching telly.
Right. Love you and leave you. We'll see you all Saturday. Thanks for watching, everyone. And any new subscribers, we'll just be polite and just ask you to hit that like and subscribe button and tell as many people as you can that the two Al fellas do a little chat. And
hang on. Anyone that's on Twitter, head over to YouTube and subscribe, because we get lots of views on Twitter, but our followers have sort of like froze at the minute. We need to boost up the followers.
It helps the channel grow, doesn't it? So thanks for the involvement, and we'll see you all Saturday. What time kick-off, mate, Saturday? I've not even looked.
It's 3 o'clock, isn't it?
3 o'clock. Okay, so we'll see you all about 2 o'clock on Saturday. Is that right, mate?
You will indeed, for Team News.
Yeah, Team News. Have a lovely evening, everyone, and have a nice couple of days until we speak to you next time. Bye-bye from the Up the Blues.